Imagine being born into a world where every step, every gesture, every sentence is examined under a microscope. A world with no privacy, no escape, and no moment truly your own. It sounds like a psychological horror story, but for the British royal family, it's simply life. And behind the polished crowns and glittering ceremonies lies a reality far harsher than fairy tales suggest. Actress Sophie Winkleman, known formally as Lady Frederick Windsor, has chosen to reveal that darker truth. Sophie, who married into royalty after building a successful acting career, doesn't view the crown as something enviable. "The more I get to know the royal family, the more I get that their lives are total hell," she admitted. Fame for royals isn't an achievement. It's a burden handed to them at birth. Their entire lives are spent under relentless media scrutiny, surrounded by people whose intentions they can't always trust, and constantly reading fabricated stories about themselves. Sophie calls this existence brutal, a life defined by expectations they never volunteered for. When she married Lord Frederick Windsor in 2009, she entered this world firsthand. Their wedding was a grand event with nearly 400 guests, many of whom she had never met. Before she could process the magnitude of the ceremony, she and Frederick had already moved to Los Angeles, diving straight into work and adjusting to a completely different environment. "I hadn't even thought about the wedding," she recalls. Despite the chaos and the pressure, Sophie speaks fondly of her husband's family, describing them as very sweet and genuinely loving her journey. However, was not without personal trauma. In 2017, shortly after giving birth, Sophie survived a severe car accident that left her trapped inside the vehicle for almost 30 minutes. The experience forced her to confront the fragility of life in the rawest possible way. Through her charity work afterward, she encountered people facing unimaginable hardships, giving her a renewed sense of gratitude. Heartbreak struck again when Thomas Kingston, her brother-in-law and husband of Lady Gabriella Windsor, died by suicide in 2024. The loss devastated the family. Sophie's daughters, Maud and Isabella, were deeply attached to him. His passing became a painful reminder that wealth and status cannot shield anyone from emotional suffering. In response, Lord Frederick channeled his grief into working with a charity that supports men battling suicidal thoughts. Through these experiences, Sophie developed deep empathy for the royal family. Behind the opulence lies a life filled with pressure, isolation, and emotional turmoil. Her story makes one truth clear: royalty may shine on the outside, but behind the scenes, it's a demanding, often lonely battle.